Hi, I'm Janine, and this is Janine Sews. On my channel, I talk about sewing, mostly sewing a wardrobe for a woman over 50. Today, I will show you 3 projects that I have made while social distancing and iSEWlating. I've been working from home for almost 6 weeks, and I spend most of my time actually working. And surprisingly, I'm finding this whole working from home thing and constant video conferencing a little more draining than I thought it would be. It's all okay, but when I knew that we were going to be working from home, I kind of thought, well, I can get up in the morning, I can work out, I'll sew at lunch, I can whip up a quick dinner and be sewing from 6 till 10 every evening. And it hasn't worked out that way at all, because I wind up starting to check emails at 6 in the morning and still working at 6 at night. And then I have video calls with friends and groups and things like that. So I have not got as much sewing done as I thought I would, but I do have 3 projects completed. First project is this top, which is New Look 6638. And this may be familiar to you if you've watched my channel before, because I made this top up a few months ago. The first time I made the top, I used a really lightweight jersey. And I like the top, but I don't love it because the jersey is so lightweight, it clings to everything, including things like the fly on jeans. And I never like that look. It makes me feel very self-conscious. Fantastic if you're comfortable with that. That's just my thing. So this time I made it in this jersey, which is a lot heavier. This is a really beefy t-shirt jersey, and I bought this at Sew Over It in London last September. I loved the print. It's just so much fun with these dancing ladies. They're aqua colored metallic tops. It was just, you know, bright and fun, and certainly weekend wear. When I pulled this fabric out, initially I thought about making a sweatshirt, but the one sweatshirt pattern I already have is color blocked, so that would mean I would be cutting designs into this cute print, and that's kind of a waste of the cute print. So then I thought, I'll just make a t-shirt. I'll just make another t-shirt. But I didn't want just another t-shirt. When I go into Talbot's or Ann Taylor or J. Jill, a lot of the time the t-shirts have something that makes them stand out. Maybe there's a band on the bottom, or there's something cute on the sleeves, or a little tie at the neck. And I thought fabric this much fun needed to have something interesting. And I remembered this pattern. So when I made it the last time, well, let me go back. Let me tell you how you make this. This is super easy. Raglan sleeves, empire waist. Here, I'm gonna get up and show you. So this has raglan sleeves, empire waist with 2 gathers in the front and 1 gather in the back. And then it has ties that are stitched in to the seams. Now, when I made it the first time, I just crocheted a little loop to hold the ties in place, because if you don't hold them in place, they're down like this, and I think that looks ridiculous. So this time, I just sewed up a loop and stitched it into the seam. So once you've done all of those things, you add elastic to the waistline and close out the seam allowance to make a casing. So this actually stays. I'm really happy with this. Super comfortable. I like the shape. I think I do like this better than the other one. I like this weight fabric better than I did in the first one. So this was kind of a fast make. did it on my machine, used my cover stitch for all the hems and the neckline. I had some trouble with tunneling, like a lot of trouble with tunneling. So I'm gonna have to play around with my cover stitch and figure out how to change the settings. But otherwise, it's turned out really well. I'm happy. I want to tell you one other thing about this top, and I'm just going to pop in a little video here. I got a new sewing machine in early March, right before it looked like we were going to be locked down, because I kind of killed my main machine. It has to go in for service. Totally user error. I damaged something inside, trying to be an engineer. So I bought a Brother Pacesetter PS500. It's much heavier than my other machines. It has a longer bed. I think that's called a harp. I don't know. Let's see if I can turn it around and just show you. So this is my new machine. So this area here is longer. And when the clerk at the shop, I'm still figuring out the machine, which is why I'm not going through much with it. I'm very happy with it so far. I want to run it through all its paces, and then I'll do a review and pattern review of the machine. And I'm happy to answer any questions about it. Again, it's a Brother Pacesetter PS500. Not a crazy expensive machine. Okay, when the machine was being demoed for me at the sewing studio, the clerk used a triple stitch, and I'd never used that stitch before. So I used that on the waist, because when I made the other version, I just did a really narrow zigzag. And when I put on the top and I pull, I can feel the seam could snap if I'm not careful. So on this, I decided to use this triple stitch. I don't know if that's actually what it's called. It's the one where it goes, and there are two, like it's just long straight line with, it goes back and forth and reinforces. I should maybe learn what some of these things are called. Anyways, I used that on the waist, and oh my gosh, it is the best stretch stitch. It's as good as anything from my serger or my cover stitch. So, as I said, I threw this little video in here so you could see how much stretch there is just using that stitch. That's using regular poly thread, nothing fancy. So this was a really good and happy make. I will wear this a lot in this transitional weather. Like I said, this fabric was something that was kind of special because I bought it in London, and I can't just run out and buy more of it. I've never seen it in the shops in the States, although I'm sure Joanne probably has it or something. But I had another piece of fabric that I've been carrying around for a while, and that's that. This fabric is a viscose that I bought at Ray Stitch in London in October of 2018. And in the window at Ray Stitch, they had that fabric, and it was in a Cali top, a cropped Cali top. I fell in love with it. I liked how crisp the fabric was when it was pressed. I liked the way it hung. So they didn't have a copy of the pattern in the shop, and for whatever reason, I did not look it up on my phone. I don't know why. So I just kind of took a guess and bought 1.5 meters. Got home, looked at the pattern, and the 1.5 meters was just enough for the cropped Cali top, and I'm not wearing a crop top. So the fabric went in the closet. But I kept looking at it because it's such a beautiful color. This is such a beautiful, bright, sunny, happy yellow. And the lines that look like brush strokes, that's actually a lavender. It's not gray. And I don't know if the camera's gonna be able to pick that up. But it drapes so nicely. Pattern. Pattern I used is the Cashmerette Springfield. I've used this pattern twice before, both for rayons. One for a heavier rayon, one's with a really light rayon. I like the heavier one better because of the way it draped. And this is even heavier than that. And I think it's just gonna hang beautifully. This pattern has a yoke and it has a panel in the back. And it pressed up, this fabric just pressed up so nicely. It's really crisp and happy. And I'm looking forward to when I can wear this top. It needs to be a little bit warmer. Now this is not exactly what I had in mind when I bought the fabric. However, I'm happy with this top. I think it's going to look very nice in the summer with all kinds of different things. Wear it under a jacket or a sweater, or I can just wear it as is. But I love the way it drapes and the way it hangs. So that's the Cashmerette Springfield. The third project. So I kind of occasionally like to sew odd things, and I'm not saying this is odd, this is just not what everybody sews. And I spend a lot of time on Instagram. My handle on Instagram is @JanineERM. And I'm very active in the Sew Over 50 community on Instagram. If you're over 50 and you're on Instagram and you sew, follow Sew Over 50. 19,000 members. You'll see so many wonderful things posted there. Full disclosure, I'm one of the weekend editors of Sew Over 50. But it's a wonderful community. And I see all kinds of things that are interesting that I'd like to sew. And you see women closer to your own age, although there are lots of younger women who follow it too. And some men. There are some men over 50 that sew. But you see things that are maybe fun, things you'd like to make, lots of garments, different prints, different styles, different hacks. But there are several people on Sew Over 50 who have made themselves Luna Lapin, the little moon bunny. I bought the book last year just because I thought it was so cute and I thought it would be a fun little project. And I didn't know where to get the fabric or what the right fabric really was, because Luna is made up of wool felt. So I bought a kit from a company in the UK called Cool Crafting. And the kit was not that expensive. I think it was maybe $20 US, including shipping. I mean, it was not crazy expensive. And in the kit, you got the wool felt, thread, the contrasting Liberty fabric for Luna's little paws and ears. See if Luna's little ears are lined. Fabric, stuffing, thread, embroidery thread for the nose, buttons for the eyes and the shoulders, contrast fabric, pins, needles, interfacing for the ears, everything you need. All you need is scissors. Luna is supposed to be sewn by hand, but I did not. I sewed Luna on the machine. I did some things by hand. There's some places where you can't really get around on the machine. So Luna is designed to have garments. And what a lot of people do, and this is what drew me to Luna on Instagram, a lot of people sew clothes for Luna that match the clothes they've sewed for themselves. So you've got a little scrap of fabric left, and maybe you make up a little dress for Luna. There are patterns for pajamas, dresses. Luna can be a boy as well. Waistcoats, trousers, even a beautiful wool coat. Oh, and a cape too. I mean, this is just, it's just too cute. So without further ado, here is Luna. And as you'll see, Luna is wearing a dress that matches my top. I had some remnants left over, not enough to do anything with, but I was able to make a little dress for Luna. So Luna goes together really well. It's designed to be dressed, sits nicely. I think it's very cute. And it's kind of a silly little thing to do, but I don't always want to sew things for myself. Sometimes I just want to sew. And I think this will be a great way to pass the time. So those are my projects. I did do something else that was different a week ago Saturday. I attended an embroidery class online. One of the local fabric stores called Top Stitch has a makers group that you join. You pay $5 a month to join, and it's just people who sew, free classes, free tutorials. There's really no non-sewing chatter. A lot of the people there are into all kinds of things, and one of the women teaches embroidery, so I attended a 2-hour embroidery class because that's one of the things I'd like to learn to do. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to do a little bit of embroidery if I don't feel like sewing clothes, but I might just make some other things for Luna if I've got some scraps around. Unfortunately, there is nothing left of this, so there will not be any dancing ladies for Luna. So that's what's been happening here. I hope you are well and you're staying physically and mentally well. It's a little easy to go crazy with these times, and especially if you try and watch TV to take your mind off things and there is nothing on. I mean, everything's a rerun. No sports. I didn't realize how much I enjoyed watching sports. I will see you again really soon. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself and wash your hands.